Hey everybody, welcome to Leadership Live. My name is Tracy Turnberg, and I am super excited to be launching this platform of just leaders chatting. And I hope you gain tons of value out of it. I hope you get some inspiration. I hope you develop some skills. You get a stronger mindset, increase your attitude. All of those things that we need to be more successful, not just in our industry, not just in our current business, network marketing, home based business, MLM, direct sales, whatever you want to call it, but ultimately the things that you hear and we share with you as we talk to different leaders, hopefully that's going to make you better at your everyday life, a better husband, a better teacher, a better plumber, a better person in society. And if we can do that and that alone, we know for a fact we're going to drastically improve your business, because this business it's so easy. Let me say it's so simple. This business is so simple.
That's better. It's simple.
It,
Yeah.
it just works. Okay. The formula is very, very, very simple. That doesn't mean it's easy. You're going to have obstacles. You're going to have things that are going to happen to you that they're going to throw you back. And how do you deal with those? Where do you learn to deal with those? How do you see them coming? All of these things we hope to be addressing here at Leaders Chat Live to help you become a better version of you and more effective, and help you grow your business faster. So, with that, my very first guest here in Leaders Chat Live is a good friend of mine, and he's out of Atlanta, Georgia. This guy, number one, is full of energy, has seen it and has done it, has experienced the heights of pin title and success and everything. Yet he's so grounded into what's important, and so we're just crazy excited to be able to have Mr. Barry Bryd from Atlanta, Georgia, on with us, and it's the very first Leaders Chat Live. Barry, welcome to Leaders Chat Live, buddy.
Hey, man, my check is in the mail to you. Thank you for that introduction. Everything that you said at the beginning here are the things that I consider to be most valuable. First of all, let me share something with you about Tracy, right? Um, it's challenging me, Tracy. It's challenging for me when I look at people that I want to be like or emulate, right?
Hmm.
There's some aspects that I've seen since I met you the first time, right? All those years ago, and watching you, your family, your daughter grow, especially your daughter, because it seems to be everywhere you went, she was with you,
Pretty
right?
much, yeah.
And as I thought about, um, uh, you see my dog coming.
Hey, folks, we're live. We don't know what's going to be
Yeah,
happening.
we don't know what my son's definitely going to come down here, probably in his underwear, so be ready for that. Because I couldn't go in my office upstairs because y'all be looking at the Bruce. Anyway, the way you included your family and everything I've seen you do, and that's one thing that I wish I had did more of. I did a lot of it, but not to the degree that you have, Tracy. I mean, you're the epitome of um, work, family. It's all the same thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not missing anything because you're over here doing that. And anyway, so now I've emulated that, and that's pretty much how we live our life. Just so you know.
Which brings up a really good point, Barry. I mean, everybody in our industry, you join for something.
Yeah.
You're searching for. Do you remember when you first joined the industry? What was you? We call it the why. What was your why? Why did you get involved in a home based business and network marketing company in the very beginning?
Okay. The very first one, right? Uh, Man, you're taking me back now. You know that, right? So the very first company was, without a doubt, it might have been Amway, right? And I know we're not going to talk company specific, but I'm going back then, right? And initially, it was something that intrigued me. Success people having the money, but the one that I'm in now was basically because of some issues that I ran into when my daughter was born, right? You know, Tracy, when my daughter was born, um, she was diagnosed with Down syndrome, and I'm gonna keep it tight today, right? She was diagnosed with Down syndrome, and I didn't know what to expect, and the doctors would say all these crazy things about what she can and cannot do, and you know, she might not get married, she might not have a job, all this kind of, you know, and I would fire that doctor and get another doctor until I heard somebody saying what I want to hear, right? And but what I realized is just in case they're right, I need to create. And you know, a phone would be going off right now. Can y'all hear it?
No, no.
All right. Can you catch that phone, please? Thanks. So anyway, um, just in case they were right, I need to create something that I can leave for her that she can manage regardless of whatever the situation is. And there are only a few industries that I know of that, you know, a child with some type of special needs or disability can do, right? So that because that was bigger than money, I think if it had been money, Tracy, I probably wouldn't have had much success, right? Every time I went after it for the money, I seemed to screw it up,
Yep.
right? But
100%.
because my why was so much bigger than money, you know, uh, it was one of those situations where this is going to work whether they want to work or not, right? So you know, so anyway, that's kind of my why. My why was my daughter, or my family, right? And it's been that same thing from the first day to this day. Everybody knows. Ask anybody in our company what my why is. Everybody knows. I've said this a million times, so everybody knows. So anyway, that hasn't changed. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but Barry, that's, you know, as we share this business with people and you introduce people to your opportunity and to your product, you said it perfect. You know, some people get in for money, but you know, money. If you're chasing money, sometimes that, man, you get frustrated because money's
Man,
money's
yeah,
for most people, money's a surface level sacrificial thing.
yeah.
But when you find that why, and like you said, I think you're looking at two guys that, I'm from Wisconsin, you're from Georgia. I'm white, you're black. But I tell you what, we are probably about as close to being carbon copies of each other as you get, man, because our whys are the same, and it's our families. It's just ingrained in us. Like, this is why we do it, and we don't. You know, people like to say, "I do it for the beaches, and I do it for the private jets or the cars," and that's all great if that's your focus. I've always done it, so I didn't miss. I didn't miss kindergarten program. I didn't miss, that really awkward long school music program. You know, I didn't. I was there for my kids. I was able to coach all my kids in sports and things that value to me. And everybody values things differently.
Can I talk about that for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, so it started off with me really focused on how can I help my daughter and create something, you know, for my that I can lead to her, right? And then the money got insane so quickly. And I'm not gonna give any numbers, but a lot of the stuff that people dream of doing, the mansions, the exotic cars, all that. Now, I mean, to the tune, Tracy, where I was buying most of that stuff cash. I wasn't financing anything except my house, right? And I noticed that as soon as I got off of what my initial mission was, success started to back up. All kind of crazy stuff started to happen. You know, I mean, some of my business partners that, you know, I got something called performance versus trust, right? So some of my business partners that were awesome performers found out that I really couldn't trust, right? Then I had an issue with, remember the real estate bubble burst, right?
Yeah.
You know, well, I wasn't prepared for that, right? And it caught me off guard.
There's the why, man.
That's the why. And this ain't just COVID. This is like every day. You know what I mean?
That's it.
This guy has never known a life without me here all day, every day, right? So
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
Jordan,
awesome.
we got it. We got it, okay? Go play with Jasmine. I'll be up there in a minute. All right. So once it went askew, and then something happened. Y'all know, a lot of people know I had a stroke, and that I'm gonna tell you what it did for me, right? it made me realize that, ain't none of this stuff going with us. Why we killing ourselves trying to get all of this stuff that houses burn down, cars you wreck, you know, and you're missing out all the moments that you just talked about, Tracy,
Yep.
right? And it got me back on my initial path, and then some miraculous things started to happen. I mean, in a very accelerated, and it's something that we're going to talk about. Something we're going to talk about today, right? But our one of our mentors, both you and I mentors, right? A guy named Kelly. He introduced me to this mindset of financial independence. And in the days where I was making all the money, I didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? I always thought financial independence was something that was only for Oprah. Right?
Yeah, she's
So,
got it.
hold on, I just did it. So anyway, once I realized what it really was and started sharing that with team members and things like that, right? What I realized is it's something that anybody can attain. Somebody with a job, somebody with a job, somebody with I'm sorry, I keep hitting it with my foot. Somebody from any aspect of life, something that they can target, right? They just got to know it exists and put it on their to-do list of something that they want, right?
Right.
So Kelly introduced us to this, and that became a part of my focus because it went hand in hand with my goal of taking care of my daughter and my family. So I got this thing, Tracy, right? I would never try to teach or train something that I haven't done,
Right.
right? So this is something that I can definitely talk about, right? And we've been living this way for a long time now. And, if we can get around to that, and in the simplistic sense of it, right? Of how anybody can really make it a part of their life. It takes so much worry and stress out of your life, man. I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
It's like a breath of fresh air comes into your life when you realize if you pay for your house, you're literally sleeping in your money. You take a crap in your money. Because that's where a big portion of it is, right?
Yeah.
So when COVID came along and everything's happening the way it's happening right now, my suggestion to the people that are watching this is, right, they ain't gonna never stop doing this to us. It's gonna be something else in 6 years or 7 years, and after that, something else. You need to prepare yourself right now. You don't ride around in your car without a spare tire.
Yeah.
So why do we go through life without some spare source of income? Only one main source of something.
Yep.
So get you a spare tire so the next time this financial flat comes up in 8 years, 9 years, whenever it comes back, right? You got a heck of a spare tire, and that's what this is. And
Right.
then pretty soon your job can become the spare tire if you want. You ain't got to quit the job. You're gonna
Right.
have a good job.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it,
You, people right now, Barry, one of the top searches on Google is work from home, business from home. People are searching right now. I mean, their why is there. It's just up for us to have conversations with them now, and just show them. I mean, I don't. What we have isn't a fit for everybody. Can
I,
everybody do it? Absolutely, but not everybody is going to really connect to what we do. But right now is a perfect time to open conversations to grow your business. But when you're talking to people, how does Barry Bryd, when you're talking to a prospect, do you go mining? Do you mine for their why? Do you,
exactly. I got a business partner of mine. He's up in New York, a guy named Wayne, right? Wayne calls it dialogue, right? I love the way he says that. Just dialogue with people. And you start asking them how old are your kids? Tracy, how old are your kids? I'm gonna dialogue with you. How old are your kids?
21, 18, and 15.
Wow, that's pretty interesting, right? What do you like doing with them?
I
When
mean,
you
I just like spending time with them. I don't care if it's sporting events, if it's hanging out, or playing video games, whatever I can do just to hang with my kids.
yeah, but you still got to eat, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, they tend to eat a lot, man.
Especially right now. Right now, we need to put a padlock on the fridge, don't we? Because
Yeah.
that door, right? So anyway, um, you know, a lot of people are pretty much in the same scenario that you are. I think people put that time. I hope that people put that time with their family ahead of everything else. All right, but sometimes I believe that because we got to eat, the method with which you get the thing that you need to go out and buy things to eat can take up a lot of the time that you probably want to spend with your family.
Right.
So, I've always looked for ways that would free up my time. So I can spend more of it doing like the things that you just said, right? Like our church, I'll tell you one of the big things that's really big in our family. We just did it the other day, right? So, a lot of people like to take their kids to amusement parks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Which can
Yeah.
be expensive, right? But if you're at home all day, every day with your kids, man, you can't go to the Six Flags and Disney World, every week, right?
100%. Yeah.
So, so I have this is so real. Right? I have,
It's live, man.
yeah, we Googled a list of all the parks, pretty much everywhere, state parks, national parks. I'm a veteran, right? Veteran parks. And Trace, we'll just go from park to park to park to park to park. We'll spend the whole summer going to parks. And man, it's amazing. Hiking, stuff that I never did growing up. There was no place to hike when you lived in the project. There was right. We just went hiking the other day, and we took a lunch, and what's it called, a cornhole game? Where you throw the little bean bag goes in corn. I
Yeah.
bought one at Walmart for $30. It's portable, right?
Okay.
We played portable cornhole, and it's just we do this all the time, and then at the end of the day, Tracy, the expense for it'd be like the cost of lunch.
Right.
because we get in the park free, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a park that you pay for. It could be anywhere, right? But what it does is allows us, we go walking, they get a lot of exercise from hiking, right? Because of the spaciousness of where we weren't within that 6 foot distance. Help me out. What's it called now?
Social distancing.
We were not in the social distancing realm. If there was another family, they were like, 300 yards that way. So anyway, would you like to enjoy that kind of? What do you think about having that element of your life without having to worry about?
Man, that's the dream, isn't it?
I agree, man. But for a lot of people, they think it's out of reach, because look at how we were conditioned, right? We were born with them going to school, right? And when you were in school, Tracy, what you say? You want to be an astronaut, right? You want to be the president.
Yeah.
You
Baseball
want,
player, basketball player, whatever, man. Yeah.
then you got to high school. You were like, okay, I want to be an engineer. I want to be an architect, right?
Yep.
Then you get to college, and it's time to graduate. You're like, I just want a job with some benefits.
I don't care. I don't care if it's in the field I graduated. I need something to pay bills.
I remember I got my oldest daughter is 34, right? So I remember when she was born, Sears gave me a credit card, Tracy, right? And I bought a baby bed, a stroller, all the baby stuff. I bet I spent the next 4 years in college trying to pay that Sears credit. So they got me so quick, right? Because you can wind up getting trapped by your stuff. And you can't even look in another direction because your stuff is always demanding portions of your money.
Right.
And then that led me to I almost lost my job when I worked at Lockheed, right? I almost lost my job. And that's when I started Googling home-based businesses, right? Watching all those shows that come on in the middle of the night, real estate, no money down. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that led me to this industry, which ultimately led me to this lifestyle. And the thing I like to say to people that are watching this, right? Whatever you're looking for is probably looking for you, right? You just don't stop looking. Don't let a situation, because we live and work for our stuff, stop you from looking.
Right.
Because once you stop from looking, then you're never going to get to that mythical, dream life, right?
Right.
It's not, but get to that dream life. As long as you're still looking, something like this fell into our laps, Tracy. I remember you telling me about you and Dale traveling from state to state,
Yeah.
and you're gone like every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? And a lot of people, they live that life, man. They've been doing that for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And then you finally woke up to what was really valuable to you, and you said, "I'm not doing this anymore." Most people can't even make that decision because they got to do it,
Right.
or they won't eat.
Yeah. And I don't want to say, in this industry, in the business, that you don't sacrifice. I mean,
Yeah,
you're going to give things up, but you just get to prioritize in a way that is just way more valuable to the individual than just you get to say, listen, you get to pick your poison. You get to say, listen, I got to go to work, but I'm going to sacrifice my time here because I really value going to my kindergarten plays. And let's face it, nobody enjoys a kindergarten play. But your kid, when they're constantly doing this, they're always looking back. You ever notice that when you go to these youth things?
Look, Jasmine ran off the stage where they were doing the play.
Yeah.
She ran off the stage and jumped in our lap. I got it on video, right? And then she ran back. So in that instance, I really loved. I think she was like maybe 4 years old, 3 years old, something like that, right?
Yeah. And Barry, put a price on that.
Yeah, I'm right here, man. That's exactly why we do this.
Yeah. So, this isn't easy. The big thing with understanding a why, when I'm talking to a prospect, and listen, if you're not asking questions to someone that you're talking to when you're showing them the business, you're probably not a very effective business builder recruiter.
I agree.
Because I don't know, man, why I do this business could be completely different than why prospect Joe does it, right? And so if you're not understanding it, why would you want to be doing this business? Is first of all, excuse me, I only have so much time in my day. I don't need to be wasting it with somebody that doesn't know why they want to work and do this business. Right?
Well, somebody asked me this question, right? They said, looking at your experience, Trace, looking at your success, right? What would you do differently? And my response is always the same, right? I will spend less time with people that waste my freaking time. There were so many people, they were pretenders, they were chameleons, they were saying all the things they thought you wanted to hear, right? That's the one thing that I would change. And ask those questions that you're talking about, right? It actually gives you, their answers actually gives you the ability to formulate what you want to, because see, this business is like a chameleon. It can adapt to whatever scenario.
Right.
Once you get it right, right? So it kind of, let's say they really are focused on helping people. Almost every person in every industry in MLM, their products do some helpful thing, I hope.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, so, you would think, right?
Yeah, I hope so, right? That's why I said I hope. A lot of, the unfortunate part about our industry, there are a lot of liars, right? Yeah. They'll say anything and everything just to get you to sign up. They don't realize that you signing up, that's the beginning of the work. That's not you arrived.
that's right.
So if you lied and said everything just to get them to sign up, you done built your whole foundation on a lie. And once they uncover that, and they will, now you're gonna create some animosity maybe, or some distrust, because maybe there's somebody that doesn't lie.
Right.
And you use your greed to make whatever that first $24, $100, $200 commission, whatever it is, by signing them up. That's all you were looking at.
Yeah.
Right. So you said and did anything to get.
Listen, if you look at a person as the mark, that listen, I just want to sell you. I don't care because I'm going to be long gone by the time you realize I bamboozled you into something. Man, I tell you what, you're not going to be successful long term.
Come here, Jordan. Come here.
Come here, Mr. Y.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I want y'all to meet him. What does he have on? He ain't in his underwear.
What's he got on? He's got his COVID clothes on, man.
That's so real, lady. Yeah, look, everybody that's watching this, that's in the house with their kids right now, know that's a valid question. Come here, Jack. Come here. Yes. Don't. This is my newest Y. He's only 5.
Hey, Jordy, how you doing, buddy?
You guys remember Jasmine when she was little? And I want to come here, Jasmine, for a second. Just a second.
Oh, hi.
Come closer. This is Jasmine.
Hey, Jasmine, how are you?
So these are my 2 babies. They're headed somewhere to eat, which must be drive-through because you can't go nowhere. But these are the reasons. This is what he thinks. This is my job to him. What we're doing right now. This is all he's seen me do. Right. So to him, this is his idea of work. Well, that's great. That's exactly what I want them to think. Right?
Exactly. You want them to understand that family first, work second. That's important. So. But the big thing for me, Barry, when we're talking the why, and just right there, seeing that moment with you and your family. If I was trying to recruit you and trying to get you in my business, I'm going to use my superpowers of listening to answering questions and going, when it comes to the closing part, and that's a different topic, a different chat. But I would use that why to make sure you understand what's shaking and what's going on. I would say something like, Barry, how serious are you about spending time with your family?
Yeah, I like that.
You'd be like, dude, I'm dang serious. I said,
as often as I can.
It's like, and then I'm going right in. Man, I'm taking away an objection. I don't care what your objection is. If you're serious about your family, and I tugged on that heart, those heartstrings, right, of your why, not my why. Man, I'm saying, hey, Barry, because back in the day, I'll throw you under the bus on this. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bentleys, all that stuff, right? I love those cars. I will never pay for those cars because I don't see the value of my money going to the car because it's not important to me, right?
Yeah.
It was to you, which is fantastic. They're beautiful cars, man. I'm jealous.
Let's talk about that. Hold up. We gotta go back to that. All right. So, okay. After having a stroke, my garage is full of that stuff that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't even drive it. I couldn't even walk without a walker. All I could do is roll over to the garage and look at it, and then roll back. Right. Now, I want to say this, right? Okay, here's the difference. All right. I think God put us here to aspire to the best version of us that we can be. Would you agree to that?
Yeah.
And everything in this life is done in abundance. Would you agree to that?
Would.
So even though you got your mindset set on value, like as it relates to cars, I got a '67 Mustang, right?
Nice.
Look, I have never pulled it out of the garage without getting 5 compliments. Never.
Yeah.
I've got more compliments on that car. It started more conversations than all the other cars added together, right? But here's the thing. Never would I put that car ahead of my family, but it actually starts a conversation that helps me get to someone that can help my family.
It's a tool, right? Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. It's a tool, right? Yeah. The thing that you said about listening, Tracy, right? How many years of education have you had on writing from grade school to college? How many years of education you had on speaking? You were taught how to say your ABCs. Right. How much education have you had on everything? You couldn't give me 4 hours of education that you had in your life on how to listen.
Yeah.
Nobody could.
Nope.
You never had, who's had training on how to listen?
I don't know. I'll argue it there. My mom said a lot. Listen. She whacked me upside the head when I was a kid. So there's probably.
Listen, you missed the point. She told you to listen.
Because I wasn't listening.
She didn't tell you how to listen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So what I'm talking about, there is a method on how to listen. The shortcut to that is I got to put myself in your perspective.
Yeah. So
if I can repeat back what you said to me. So Tracy, what you're saying is such and such and such and such and such and such. And then you say, well, no, Barry, not nearly that is such and such and such and such and such.
Right.
Then, so now I just got to understand. Oh, it's such and such and such and such. You say, yes. Now, the minute you agree to it, I've effectively listened and communicated back to you what you said.
Right.
So using that mindset that you just said a moment ago, with not just listening, but effective listening, right? Now you really reach, because now this guy's like, he gets it. He gets it from my angle.
Right.
Like, yeah, I don't want a Lamborghini or a Bentley. Well, when Jordan was born, I didn't want anything that I couldn't put my family in. It would be really challenging getting your family in a Lamborghini. The thing was paid for. It was right there in the garage, right? I wouldn't have traded it for 2 cars that I could put my family in. I ain't pay a zero. I paid zero because it was no more value to me.
Right.
You know this, right?
Yeah.
I got an SUV and I got another 4-seater sedan. I'm not going to talk about the brands because most people think they're still up there. But at the end of the day, right, I got 2 cars of value for one that was no value. In that instance, I started to realize what I really need to be focused on. My friends, look, some of my friends who were still caught up in that car mindset, they thought I had lost my freaking mind. They're like, hold on, man. Hold on. You mean that it was paid for? Man, look, if I told them the number of times somebody tried to run me off the road because they were riding next to me with their help me out, Trace, their cell phone.
Cell phone camera, yeah.
Man, and their cars were this quick. If I tell you a number of times, one day I came out of Fry's Electronics, somebody had spit a big wad of tobacco just right on the hood of the car. Blah. So obviously there was somebody that thought I was flexing, or somebody that was, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Sorry, that was your car. I didn't mean to do that to your car, man.
No, they did it because they thought I was an a-hole. You know, because a lot of people assume that a-holes drive those kind of cars.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and they're jealous, and they're mad, and they're angry at their own life, so they're going to take it out on you.
Nobody's ever done it to my Mustang. Everybody's always, because everybody can relate to that. They can relate to a 67. I think the insurance costs $294 a year. A year, right? Everybody got a story. You were probably conceived in one.
Hey, this is a family show, Barry. Family show.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's not, I mean, everybody knows something has to happen for you to be conceived. So I'm not, lest they're just completely oblivious to life, right?
Right.
But so the things that are valuable to me are things that everybody can relate to, right? And then when you talk about them being able to relate to the things that are important to them, but doing it in such a way that they don't have to go nowhere to get the money that they need to keep it, now you just hit some real important buttons.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now that time you want to spend with your family has just went from I got to eat, right, to where I can eat and spend time with my family. Because right now, this is business, what we're doing right now, in the sense of the word. Because this is how much I do my business anyway. But you just saw my kids, they're going somewhere to eat without me. This is the only time I'm missing. This is the only time I wouldn't be with them.
Well, I appreciate you sacrificing for us, man. This has been great.
Honestly, because of COVID, sometimes I need this 1-2 moments of silence because it's hard to get it.
Daddy's got to work, guys. Daddy's got to work. What are you doing?
Well, you know, because of what's going on everywhere, you can't get rid of your kids if you wanted to. You ain't got nowhere to drop them off a part of the day. But I don't never really feel that way. Sometimes I do enjoy being able to read a book without having to stop every page. You get what I'm saying? So in that instance, I just go upstairs and go in my office upstairs, right? And then, you know, and then they'll think I'm in here doing this, right? And they'll leave me alone because they'll associate this with work for me.
Right.
And then 30 minutes I'll come out and then it's business as usual around my house. You
know, one of the things, Barry, that, I think people, you start with a why. And it's why A. But, in your journey of your business, sometimes your why can change. And it develops into something bigger or more important, much like yourself, right? But also when you're dealing with downline team and business partners and stuff, knowing their why really helps you help them over the obstacles that we all face, right? We get, there's negative thinking. There's, somebody said no, lack of money, whatever the situation is. When you understand somebody's why, it's a lot easier to bring them back on course to where now you're like, okay, remember why we started this, Barry? We started this because, man, if family was the most important thing. And are we acting like family is the most important thing? Or are we being a bunch of whiners because the company just changed the packaging on a product that doesn't move?
Yeah.
We look for excuses sometimes and we blame it. And, there's a great book, Leadership and Self-Deception. I absolutely love it. And it basically addresses this issue, because you and I are great people. We do everything right. We do everything to honor our families and everything else.
We really try to do everything right.
However, some days we go, I didn't work as hard as I could have in my business, and so in a sense, then we say what we like to blame the company for changing the packaging. That's why I can't do it, and it's got nothing to do with that. We're just trying to honor our own feelings of like, hey man, this is what I should be doing, and I'm not exactly doing it. Therefore, I'm not a bad person. I'm going to blame somebody else. Different conversation. But understanding the why. I mean, do you use that a lot with your team members and just like help get them centered back on?
One of the challenges talking with you, Tracy, right? You're so sharp and you're so articulate and just so polished. I really need to have a notepad because you hit so many points in that one run. You hit so many points that could be a topic for each one of these shows.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get all real quick though, right? Okay, so I run into somebody that's in a company. They say, I've been there, done that, right? And I'll say, I'll say, okay, was there somebody in that deal that you're in that had the things that you really wanted or was living a lifestyle that you wanted, Tracy, right? He said, yeah, there was this guy and this lady and this person and that person, right? And then you'll say, well, do you think you were doing everything that they were doing? Because if you were doing what they were doing, see, I'm not as good as Tiger Woods in golf, but 50% of Tiger Woods means I just got to hit the ball. It ain't even got to go in the hole.
Right.
50% of Tiger Woods means, what does that mean financially? That makes you a millionaire at the worst case scenario.
Right.
Everybody thinks that, hey, Tracy, I was the #1 sales guy at Walmart for 5 years running. Don't you see my face on the plaque right there in the Walmart, whatever the little room they go in and eat food and stuff in, whatever you call it.
Yep.
The break room. Thank you. See how long I've been at the break. So they associate all those accolades in the break room with things that will work in Tracy's deal. So instead of doing the things that the people who were successful in that thing, look, it ain't got to be network marketing. It can be anything. A lawyer, a truck driver. There's somebody that's successful in every one of those aspects of life, but you want to do what was successful at Walmart.
Right.
And lawyer. I don't think that's going to work well for your clients. I don't think that's going to work out.
Yeah.
So getting back to that why, right? When that why is so important that you can't afford to use some experimental system for this thing that you really need to get you to the why, it really gets you. So I love the fact when we have leadership conferences and international conventions, and then people come from all over the world who had success, and you get to hear, and look, and in the deal that I'm in now, one of the things that blew my mind, Tracy, I said, okay, if God was going to create a company, wouldn't it have every nationality and every language in it, or would it just be a black and white company? It would have. All right, so the first one I went to, there were 34 translators.
Yeah.
There was a whole back wall of people translating with little, and all the people who couldn't speak English had little headphones on that the company just handed out headsets. I said, oh, there's something up to this. That looks pretty worldly to me, right? And then at the end of the day, their systems are their whys. Well, generally, a lot of their whys were the same in China as they would be in Russia. It still kind of revolved back to their family and spending more time with them. That seems to be the common denominator with all of this stuff.
Right.
In my mind.
Yeah.
But their systems, Tracy, maybe allowed me to enhance. Tracy, I think your system is impeccable. But there are some people in other countries that are just successful or even more successful than you are, right?
Yeah. 100%, yeah.
So what's exciting about this show that you're putting on is when you talk to them, taking pieces of Tracy's system and pieces of Barry's system and pieces. I got a friend named Takimoto-san, right? He came to Atlanta, spent a week with me at my house, Triple Diamond Black Pearl in Japan, right? Couldn't speak any English, right? I went to Japan. I spent 8 days with him. Couldn't speak any Japanese. But we're just like this, right? I had this little translator box. They sold them at Brookstone, right?
Brookstone,
As I met his wife and his family, and he met my wife and my family, we noticed that me and Takimoto-san, they had nothing in common as relates to culture, language, customs, right? We were the same guy, Tracy. We're like best friends now.
Yeah.
And that excites me as it relates to something that in my mind, right? God can look down on what it is that we're doing and smile because all we're doing is helping people, but it's not just one version of us helping people. It's everybody from all around the world helping each other. And, that's one of the unique things about a company that's a global business, right?
Right.
And it just creates when you go to one of these events, man, it changes you, man. You go in there and you're like, oh, man, you don't walk out the same guy that you did, were when you walked in.
You shouldn't. That's for darn sure, yeah. I mean, you
So,
weren't listening.
this is where I'm going with this. So now you've focused on their why. They're finally in the game, but not just for you to sign up and make commission. And you take them through the steps of leadership to ultimately they get to go to one of these events. I even took one guy to Tahiti with me who hadn't even earned it right, but he hit a position that required me to go. So rather than taking my family at that time, I took him, right? Because I couldn't take my family anyway. They were in school, right? Kids. Going to that event, seeing all those people from all around the world, all these different cultures, all these different nationalities, all different languages, it changed him, man.
Yeah.
He came back more committed than he ever was. So using that why to get to that event where they get changed, man, now you really hit on something.
Yeah. 100%. And that's, if you're if you're out there watching us right now, in the comments, type in what is your why. Barry and I would love to hear what your why is and what makes you tick and why you want to build your business. So make a comment and so we can know what's going on with you and what makes you tick. But, getting to that event and that why, sometimes you mentioned earlier, it's like a little piece here, a little piece there. And I saw this meme the other day that, if you're watching The Last Dance on ESPN, it's the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls 1998 season. It's the only sports thing in the world going on right now.
Pretty much.
And, I saw this meme. It said, if you want stats, you want LeBron. If you want rings, you want Bill Russell. If you want, and it went on through all these characteristics of all these great NBA players. Because if you want all of that in one person, you want Michael Jordan. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm not saying that, any of us, we're all just who we are. But if we can share the best parts of each of us, and that's the thing that you latch onto. If that's the thing that you latch onto, that is the beauty. That's the beauty of this, because we just want to develop you, Barry. We want to develop you, Trish. We want to develop you, Jacqueline. We want to develop people that are out there that are creating just a better way for their family or themselves. And we don't know exactly how to do it, because there is no cookie cutter. That's one thing about this industry. There is no cookie cutter that works for everybody, every walk of life, every demographic, whether it's age or race or geographical location. You gotta kind of be able to pivot a little bit here and there. And I know my method is great for me and my peeps, right? But exposing people to different reasons and different whys, man, your story, I know we could spend hours and hours on just your story, Barry. I mean, tell you, when you get into your story,
like I just saw somebody comment on Jacqueline, said leaving something to her family, right? So let me share with you why I believe that's so important, right? But I'm gonna scale it down, right? And what I mean by scale it down, there will never be another broke Ford ever. Henry Ford took care of that, right?
Yep.
There will never be another broke Gates, another broke Jobs, another broke Winfrey. You get what I'm saying? Because they went out and created something that they could leave. No, your kids, they don't want your job. They see you coming home fussing and cussing about what went down that day. They be like, leave me the car. I don't want your job, right? So, I think in this particular industry, right, you do have the built, like with my special needs child. My special needs child is actually in our business with us, right? She's actually earned about $300 already too, right? She's only doing
that's awesome.
Yeah, but so not only the ability to lead my business, which is actually already in my trust. Tracy, in case you never didn't know this, I'll share this to you right now. On paper, trust, Tracy, on paper, only thing I own is a 1994 pickup truck out here that I probably couldn't give it to you, right? everything I own is in trust or in LLC. This house is in a trust, right? See, even though my son loves my daughter to no end, Tracy, to know the way they, I mean, I had to go grab him and get him out of her bed. They just sit there and watch TV and watch stuff together, right?
Right.
But I can't take a chance on when me and his mom had gone to heaven, and he's the only one here responsible to looking after his sister with her condition, that he don't have a stupid attack and forget his responsibility.
Right.
So I got some things put in place where he can't get to the house, he can't get to the money, he can't get to all the cars, he can't get to none of that stuff unless he's doing things the proper way. Now I gotta feel like I ain't gotta worry about that based on what's going on right now. But you just said something. Stuff change, man. People change.
People change.
But you know, having somebody there to look over my daughter when I'm not there. I'm not taking no chance on that.
Amen, brother.
So you know, I had to find a entity that could meet that circumstance for me. You know, everybody's life is different. You know, your kids, happy, healthy, athletes, beautiful. You know, I believe the same thing about my family. You know, see, Jasmine wasn't in a car accident and became, you know, disabled. She was born with her condition. She's never known anything but her life right now.
Right.
All she does is play and laugh and hug and kiss. I think if the whole world with special needs wouldn't much get done, but it wouldn't be no fighting, no wars. You know, I think. I mean, so there's an aspect of our life that I'm like, imagine a life, Tracy, where your entire life somebody's been looking over you, making sure that you eat, that you were fed. You never have to worry about bills. You never have to worry about an iPhone 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? All that stuff you don't have to even think about that stuff. There's somebody out there that's so focused on you that they're worried about all of that stuff. Yeah. To me, that's like a mythical life, you know? So as I look back on it, I'm saying, well, shoot, she might be the most blessed out of all of us. You know, I've been busting my butt for as long as I could get a job. You know, if I could have had a lifestyle like this without getting a job, I would have took that every time. Yeah. Right? So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, you know, Barry, you know, you and I, this is dangerous. When you and I get on the phone, dude, we tend to talk for like 3 hours.
That's right.
And, you know,
I'm looking at time.
people got to do things, you know. But
just so you know, last time it was an hour and 24 minutes.
Was that before or after we got disconnected and recalled? But, you know, I tell you, understanding the why, to me is one of the most integral parts of this business. If someone knows their why, man, I tell you what, if they hold on to that, you look at a guy like Michael Jordan, right? We just talked about him. I mean, the guy got cut from his high school basketball team. The greatest player in the entire world. Here, he's the GOAT, period, in the story. I don't even want to argue about it. He got cut from his high school basketball team. And, I mean, his why was like he wanted to be the best player. And he came back, he worked on his game, and he just elevated, and he just took it to a whole different level. And when you're in this industry and you understand why you're doing it, and I don't care what your why is, it doesn't matter. It's personal to who you are. Right. If you want to buy that plant that's sitting behind you, that's your why, then great, go to work, get it, right? You identify your why and you make it clear. And honestly, if you can declare your why, it becomes more real. You know, if you tell people you do this for your family, you do this for you do it for money. I don't care what it is, but you declare it to people, man, I tell you what, it becomes a part of who you are. And I tell you what, people don't quit. You know, you get through obstacles better. You develop, you acquire the skills it's going to take for you to be able to do what you need to do to be successful. And you know, as we go on this journey of what Leadership Live is going to be, we're going to start getting into conversations, on customer acquisition or edification or closing or all of those skills that you and I have been able to develop, and other leaders have developed, far superior to what I have. And just be able to take in those little golden nuggets of leadership and development, I think is such a powerful thing. So I just want to say thank you to Barry Bryd. I think people, I want to get you back on sometime just to talk just about your story, man. Because to me and to, I think, a lot of people in the company, you're an inspiration. Because number one, you've been in 19 years. You've been with Noni by New Age, right?
Hey, only thing I've ever done longer than that is be in this relationship with my beautiful Christy, right? I never did nothing for 19 years. Never had a job, never went to school, never.
Exactly. It's like you start looking at it, you're like, dang, 18, I've been in 18 years.
Well, guess what, Trey? Guess what? Hold up. I got to say this because it's on my spirit right now. Man, you ain't gonna be able to do it in 2 years. I call it the company jump. You ain't gonna be able to do the company jumping often because what it is, would you rather make $20,000 a month for 5 years or $5,000 a month for 30 years? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And first, guys, you got to have a company that's gonna be around for 30 years. And right now they're popping up and dropping like flies, yeah. Right? So at the end of the day, right? Getting back to your why, I gotta have an entity that's gonna sustain my why. I just had 2 grandkids. My son that you just saw, he's a 5-year-old uncle. I got a 1-year-old. Her birthday was a couple days ago. Her name's Summer, and a 9-month-old. His name is Cash, Kash. Yeah. I told my daughter. I said he's gonna need to be known for making a lot of it. I'm spending all of yours. But I want to have something. What we're doing right now. After Christy and after Jasmine Jordan has done with the things that we're doing now, they turn around and give it to Cash and Summer.
Yeah.
And Cash and Summer turn around and give it to their kids and grandkids. I really see that happening in where we are right now. I can't see any other entity outside of being a Ford or Microsoft or something like that where that's even possible, right? So I don't want to belabor this conversation because you know how many you get. But I did have to end with that because it's just on my spirit. Man, you got to be in it long enough for this to happen.
Yeah, and that's in Valencia made a very good point. And your why is something that takes time to develop. It's not like you just get you tap on the guy at the gas station and say, hey, what's your why? It's like people are normally hurting for a while. They're struggling in life. They're the health is bad or whatever it is, something happens, a loved one passes away and they go, how am I going to take care of Jazzy if something happens to me? And it's over a period of time. It's typically not an aha moment. A lot of people start with the money part because it's like, man, I tell you what, you're broke before you know you're sick.
That's it.
Right? I mean, you're broke before you know you're sick. And so you're always at the point of checking your bank account and doing all that, and you're like, you check your finances way more than your health status.
I saw a quote the other day that said, "Poverty is too expensive."
Poverty is too expensive. But so it's like your why is going to develop over time, and helping people develop that, understanding what it is, what makes them tick, is only going to make you a better leader for them. Because you're going to understand where they're coming from. Because if I'm talking English to somebody that their why is actually Spanish, they're not going to follow what I'm saying. And so I've got to figure out what language they speak in the why, and then kind of tail my leadership to what they understand, to what language that they speak. So we're communicating on the same level.
Well, when we got more time, because this is definitely another conversation. There's a system that I developed as it relates to the financial independence side of it. It's something that's attainable from somebody with a job to somebody that's doing well in this industry, right? I can't tell you the number of conversations, a number of people that have called me that were supposedly at the highest levels of this industry, and they called me to borrow money because they know I've been saving money, right? And, at the end of the day, I told you a story the other day about one, right? I told you how he started the conversation telling me about his Porsche and his E-Class.
Yeah.
Then he turned around and asked me for a loan, right? I'm like, look, man, you just told me two things. Why you gonna put my lifestyle at risk? Because once I give it to you, you probably ain't gonna give it back. I knew that the minute you said it. Yeah. Sell your Porsche and go get the money you need. They don't want to put their stuff at risk. They want to get yours because they think you got it. And maybe you do.
Right.
But you didn't get it by being stupid. Right? So and then I used the technique that I told you I learned from Ken Rowland. I'm like, look, Tracy, man, Tracy, me and you are great friends, right? Yeah. We've been friends for a long time,
absolutely.
Right? Man, I would not want to risk this friendship over $5,000, man. It's too important in that. Because money is the number one thing that could break up a friendship like this. So I'd rather just maintain this quality friendship than putting $5,000 in the middle of
it. But it's so true. It is true. It's that you want people need to have dignity, right? And when you got your hand out all the time, and listen, I have sympathy for it, and I have I'm empathetic to the situation, but let me show you or teach you a way. Let me help you build your business that is not only going to give you a one-time fix, but it's actually going to make you money. And I don't care if it's $50 or $500 or $1,000 a month, but it's going to pay you and get you on the right track down the road.
If you don't share that system with Tracy, right? Not only 30 days from there, they're going to be in the same position that they were, right? But now they owe you $5,000.
Right.
So they right where they were when they call you, plus they owe you $5,000.
Right.
Because hold up, you just told me all these things, I lost my job, I can't go to work. I mean, go to tell the bank everything that you just said to me and ask them for $5,000. Yeah. Ain't no possibility of you paying the bank back. So I know ain't no possibility of me getting my money back.
Exactly. Yeah. Plus we're friends, so we're not gonna,
I'm not gonna risk it because of our friendship. But at the end of the day, I do want to say this, man. Sometimes you just have to put your back against the wall. When this particular company that you and I are in was introduced to us, my back was against the wall. They had cut my gas off. I was in that gas deregulation. Remember that?
Yeah.
Came back and told me I had a $3,000 gas bill. I'm like, my whole neighborhood don't have a $3,000 gas bill. So they put a lock on my gas. I couldn't cut that lock. I don't know what that lock was made of, but the little loop, I cut the loop and the lock fell out. And then I turned my gas on. Now that's illegal, by the way, so don't do that. Right? But I turned the gas on, and this company was introduced to me the next day, and I went to work. Yeah. And before they came to check, they weren't checking my meter because the guy already knew he had put a lock on it. So he was just bypassing my house. So he'd already put the lock on my house. So by the time he came and to turn my gas on, Tracy, I took some JB Weld and I made the little loop. And then I spray painted the whole gas. I sanded it down and I filed it. It looked just like the little gas loop. And I stuck the lock back in. And then he turned my gas on, and that was the last time I ever had that issue. So sometimes you have to put yourself in that mental scenario. Yeah. Okay, my back is against the wall. I can't afford to screw this up. I need the best information I can get my hands on right now from somebody that's done it. And it's evident that they've done it because people hear what they see, right?
Yep.
A lot of people are good at faking it.
Yeah.
So you got to get past that just initial. And I got to do this thing right. I got to knock this out the box right now because it's December. I ain't got my gas on. Jasmine's 3 months old. I just lost the last company that I was working with out of business. I didn't have no job. I didn't want to go back to one. I couldn't take no chance on this not working. This had to work.
Yeah.
And by putting, one of my mentors, you just told about a book, right? Well, I got one book, Tracy. I listen to it in every, any car I get into. It's on my phones. It's everywhere, right? It's called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. It was written back in 1908 or 1910. And almost everybody that's anybody in any kind of personal development, they've been stealing his stuff. I'm talking about Napoleon Hill. It all started with Wallace Wattles. He concised this whole mindset, what you and I are talking about, down to just as there's no fluff to it. No vibrato. It's just the basic things you need to do. The book is right there. It's hold on.
Grab it for us, Bear.
Hold on. I got the hard copy. It's upstairs where most of my library is, but look how big this book is.
It's just like a small little booklet, man.
I got this. This book will change your. If you listen to it. Now, here's the funny thing.
Put the cover up. Put the cover up to the camera so people can really see it well.
Let me
There you
figure out how
go.
to do it.
The Science
Now,
of
look,
Getting Rich, Wallace Waddles.
don't take rich from the monetary mindset. Rich is. We're not talking about money. This is one of the most spiritual guys that I've ever read. He uses the instances of God in this book so many times, right? And the whole mindset, the whole abundance mindset. He talks about that, right? And anyway, after listening to it and reading it, you don't understand, Tracy. I can't get him. I got a hard drive in my car. I don't put on nothing when I'm in traffic. I'm listening to this book. I done read this book so many freaking times, but it's the repetition. I just do it over and over. I've actually went to sleep with my headphones on with the audio version of this book playing. So many nights I can't even tell, because I got all these weeds that have been growing in my brain for years. I got to mentally cut these weeds down. I need something to cut these mental. So I need my lawnmower going when I'm sleeping, when I'm stuck in traffic, so because we've been conditioned. We got a lot of this business. People talk about brainwashing, man. Trace, it sounds like you've been brainwashed. Yeah. Man, as dirty as my brain was and broke as I was, my brain needed washing real bad.
But the same people that say brainwashed are coming from a brainwashed education system of like, no, you're supposed to just get a job and pay your bills and that's your lot in life. Achieving and being more is not for everybody. It's like the people that say brainwashed are the ones that are probably more brainwashed than the actual person.
But why? Because of something called unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence means I don't even know what I don't know. So if the brainwashing started with your great-great-grandparents and it's been going through every generation, you don't even know that it was started so long ago. You don't even know how you got in it.
Yeah.
It's only till you become conscious of it to where you really start. And even once you're conscious of it, you still don't know how to get out of it. It's like driving a 5-speed before you ever seen a 5-speed.
Yeah.
Right? You know it's a clutch, but you don't know how to work it.
Right.
Now you know that one exists. So now you're conscious of it. But you still can't do it. You get what I'm saying? Conscious incompetence. You know about it, but I can't do it. Right? Then I learned mine on the VW Bug, by the way. Now I'm sitting with my cousin Alan says, okay, gas, take your foot off gas, put it on the clutch, put it in gear. Gas, take your foot off the clutch, put it in gear. So now I'm conscious of it and I'm becoming competent, but I got to think about every step. Right? Now, to get to unconscious competence, well, I ain't even got to think about it. I can do it. The illustration I give is, you ever seen a mom with their kids and she late for work? She ain't got her makeup on. She got to drop them off at the daycare. She driving the 5-speed. She's like, right? She don't got so good at it from repetition that she don't even think about the steps.
Yeah.
That's how you got to get, not just in this business, in anything.
Yeah.
And see, a lot of you are that way right now in the thing that you do to make a living right now. Whatever. I got a friend, he drives a truck, right? He drives a tractor trailer truck. When I seen him doing that tractor trailer truck, Tracy, I seen him put that thing between two other tractor trailer trucks with this much. You could barely get out of the truck. He did it over and over and over. I rode around. There's a Publix Central with about 500 tractor trailer trucks right down the street from here, right? I just go down there with him sometimes when I ain't got nothing to do and hang out with him, just ride around with him in his truck. And I'm always amazed at how he thinks how difficult it is what I do. When I see him drive that truck, man, and he make that truck do magic in my mind, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
100%.
But see, I know that if I sat down with him for a week, a month, a year, and he showed me every day, I know I could get it. That's success.
Yeah.
Success is getting with the person that has mastered whatever the thing that you want to master, and not sitting there using your experimental system, and learning from him because you see he's mastered it. And the quicker you can get that in your life, man, you can attain. I don't care what it is: basketball, golf,
doesn't matter. Yep.
Industry, driving trailer truck. Man, anyway, yeah. I want to end with that from my perspective. I ain't got nothing else to talk about because that's it in my mind.
Yeah. I tell you what, Barry. It has been an absolute blast having you on. I hope everyone watching, you know what, if you're out there and you're watching, just mash the tar out of the like and the heart button to say thank you for Barry for being on today. Show him appreciation. We can't hear you. We assume that you're out there. But just mash that heart button. Let him know that that the words of wisdom that you shared, man, you're speaking truth, not from a pretender, but from someone that went through it. And I tell you what, that experience and everything that you're dealing with that is so valuable. I can't wait to get you back on sometime. For those that are out there, make sure you're mashing it. Barry, thank you so much. We're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna tell people what they got to do.
I do very little social media. I don't. Last thing I posted was that thing at the park. If you go and look in there, me throwing the big bags. It probably got 2 likes, right? I do. One of them was my mama, right? Would have been my mom if she was here, but you get what I'm saying. It was Tracy and one of my neighbors, actually. So my social media presence is like nil, but I know that I need to learn how to do it, right? But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I do use the inbox portion of social media a lot, right? Instead of just blasting all out on for everybody to judge or whatever else. So, but once I find the social media person, right, that's like that tractor trailer truck driver, I'm gonna be all up in his grill, so I can get this thing right the first. I think I'm looking at somebody that's kind of understanding it, by the way, right? So,
right. Yeah. All right. Well, Barry, thank you so much, man. We're gonna catch you next time, okay?
I will. All right. I'm sorry if I took too long.
No, dude. I mean, I tell you what, we could do this all day, man. I think people are absolutely loving it. So
you knew this was gonna happen when we got on here, so I don't even know why I'm apologizing.
I even told you, I said, dude, we got to stay on topic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find out wherever they went and see can I meet them. Right. Well, they're probably coming back here because they can't sit down. So I guess I don't have to do that anyway. So thank you guys.
All right. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Bye, man.
Bye.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
No, I thought you were about to say bye. I'm saying bye too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you kind of got the vision of what we're doing with Leaders Chat Live. For those of you that are wondering how and where we can go about getting the social media tags, if you go on Facebook, obviously you're watching it, like this page, okay, favorite this page. We're going to be going live. We're also on Instagram. If you're on Instagram more than Facebook, we'll be posting when we go live there as well, who we're going live with. I wish I could say it's going to be at a certain time, but availability of people's schedules doesn't allow it to be at a set time every day or every week. I do want you to know there's another live coming very, very quick. Actually, we're going to do tomorrow. I forget the time. I think it's 3:00 Eastern time with Quentin Wiggins out of Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, don't know what we're going to be talking about, but I hope it's going to be something that's just super awesome that impacts your life. So, man, I tell you what, it's been fantastic. I appreciate you joining, and I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the likes and the hearts and everything else you've been doing. Please send money. No, okay. So, no, don't send money. I'm just kidding. But we will be seeing you guys all real soon, and look forward to it. So have a fantastic day.